Homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Padma Kumara Yidam of the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. Sumo, Danzen Katso, Tutan City. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Aisteru.
mucho. Sukoin Ichiban Kimochi Jumi Yapi Prin Prin. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Good afternoon.
那今天我们是做这个莲花童子的。
Today we had the Homa of Padma Kumara.
这一尊呢，大家都知道，也不用讲。
We all know about this deity, so no need to talk about
这一尊
it.
就是真佛中的
So
第一男主角。
this deity is the first and foremost male character of True Buddha school.
主起者应该是最多的，对不对？
So the primary supplicants should be the most,
结
right?
果是
But, right?
最少的，
The least.
结果是最少的，因为
The
我
least.
捧起来这个加持的时候啊，觉得非常的轻
Because
易。
When I pick it up for blessing, that was so light,
不像我
so
以
easy,
前
it's kind of floating.
我举都
Not like before, it was so heavy. I have to use some strength to push it up, to pray for blessings. But this time, they were so light and easy.
又轻松又愉快
So
又非常的爽
light and delightful
就可以把它
and easy. Without any strength, I can lift it up.
大家听过一个故事没有？这大
Have you ever heard
教里
a
面谁都
story?
听过这个故事。
In Tantrayana, you must have heard of the story
马尔
before.
巴上师
Marpa,
跟
Guru
马罗巴
Marpa,
在印度学
followed Naropa to study Buddha Dharma in India.
那罗巴上师呢，从
And
心
the
中
Master
里面流露
Naropa
出来一个坛城，
exuded
那个坛城的主角
a mandala from his heart,
洗金刚的坛
and
城
a mandala of Hevajra.
跟
So the Hevajra mandala appeared,
那个时候啊，
and
马尔巴
Naropa,
上师想，应该向
but Guru Marpa thought,
那罗巴
should I pay homage
还是
to
跟洗金刚？
my own Guru, Guru Naropa, or to pay homage to Hevajra
马尔
first?
巴就认为上师是
And at that time,
天天都可以看到
Marapa had the opinion that I can see the Guru every day,
很难得看到
but it's such a rare opportunity to
所以他
see
就先跟洗金
Hevajra
刚
mandala.
谈成，
So he paid homage to the Hevajra
后来
mandala
他
first,
才跟
and then
那罗巴
paid homage to Naropa.
那罗巴就讲了一句话，
And then Naropa said,
这个次序刚好颠倒。
the sequence was wrong.
那罗巴把洗金刚的坛城
So Naropa retracted the Hevaja Mandala back to his heart.
一切的诸尊
All the
来自
deities
于莲花童子。
come from Padma Kumara.
你们得到诸尊的灌顶，来自于莲花童子。
All the empowerments of all deities that you receive come from Padma
结
Kumara.
果诸尊的主起最多，莲花
However,
童子的主起
primary
最少。
supplicants for other deities are more, and the
这个
primary
跟
supplicants for Padma
那
Kumara
个时候
are
啊
the，
那
least.
罗巴就跟马尔巴
So at that time, Naropa
讲，
told
从此以
Marpa,
后，
from now
你的
on,
子嗣
your
传承就会断
descendants would
断掉，
break.
你的你的子嗣传承会断，
So
但是
your
法的传承没有断，
your
佛教
son
的传承就一直
would
传承下来。
break, but the lineage of the Kagyupa
白
will
教的
continue.
法到现在还没有断，还是在
So
传承。
the Kagyupa
但是
Dharma
他的子
still
嗣就
continues
断
until now, but his own sons or descendants stopped. The lineage for
所以
his
这个
own
意思就
descendants
是讲
stopped.
说，按照那罗巴的意
So
思，
what this meant,
所有的
according to
坛城
Naropa,
所有的
all
诸尊出现
mandalas, all deities, their appearances
莲花童子本身所演化。
were because of the
最
transformation of
重要
Padma
应该
Kumara.
主起的应该是莲花
So the
童子。
most important one for primary supplication should be Padma
上一
Kumara.
次那个是
The
大万化王，
the
大万化王
one
金刚，
last time was Mahotara
大
Heruka,
万化王金刚，这个主起啊不得了，
and the primary supplicants were so
我挤都
many,
快挤不起来。
I almost couldn't
事
hold
实
it up.
上，大万化王也是很
In reality, Mahotara Heruka was also very responsive.
梁勇整理那边的
Liang Yong from
从巴西来的
Brazil
感应，他整理出来，
compiled all the spiritual responses from Brazil and sent it to
上个
the
礼拜做的
TPF
他这个
office.
有感应的，全部通通整理出来。
And we had the Homa last week,
梁
and
勇
from Brazil only, prepared by Liang Yong.
他整理出来，
Last week,
联
he
合
sent it,
联合上师，
which is
他
Master
整
Lian
理出
He.
来，其他的都没有整理出来，就是联合，
Just Master Lian He
他那边感应
compiled
的，他收集
all the
他寄到
responses
中国
there
办公室。
and sent it to the TPF
我
office,
昨天
but
看到
nobody else did.
我昨天
So I saw it
昨
yesterday.
天看到他整理出来的东西，有感应。大
Very
万化王
responsive.
金刚的感应真的是
Mahotara Heruka truly have great
治好很多
responses.
人的病，在巴西，
He has cured many diseases, but is it only
别的
Brazil?
地方都没有整理，就
But
只有
nobody
联合
else
联合上师
reported
统
anything.
一整理出来。
Only Liang Yong, Master
人家
Lian
巴
He.
西啊，那么偏远的地方，
That's from
坐
Brazil,
飞机要坐多
a
远？
very far away place, and they have to fly so long to
要
get
坐
here.
多久？最近的都没有整理。
But the closest ones don't do
要从
anything.
巴西这样子传过来，
And yet from Brazil,
一个礼
he
拜他都
made the
整理
report within 1 week.
这个事情就很难讲，
So it's difficult to
大家
say.
都不知道自己的根本。
Everybody does not know what is your root, your origin. The most primary supplicants should be for Padma
但
Kumara.
是呢，
However,
我看那个咒音呢、莲花童子的咒音，我
and
从
the
头到
mantra
尾
chanting
一个音调，
to beginning to end,
生西地后
just one note.
地后，蹦哒蹦哒蹦哒蹦哒蹦哒蹦哒蹦哒，一个拍子
Just one note. At the end, it went off note. Just one note all the way from beginning to end. That's like hypnosis. But the mantra chanting of Mahotara Heruka, that sound was very bright. But Padma Kumara mantra is like that. It's like almost half dead. Just one note all the way. Let's play it again for everybody to note. Please play the Padma Kumara mantra. Okay, so you intentionally play it loud, right? You should at least do this. You should at least use some power, some strength. From beginning to end, it was like I almost fell asleep. And it's all just one note. Nothing, no music, no nothing, accompaniment. Please pay attention. Padma Kumara Yidam. But playing the mantra loudly and softly, there's some difference. Just now I almost fell asleep. I would like to make an announcement for next Sunday, March 28th at 3 p.m. There will be Mahapratisara Homa, fire offering ceremony. Om Mahapratisara Soha. And the mudra, scripture mudra. But it sounds like tomatoes mudra. But actually it means the Sanskrit scripture mudra. And there are the 8 mudras of Mahapratisara. And Mahapratisara Bodhisattva is also very responsive. So you can ask for anything. And you will get what you ask for. Mahapratisara Bodhisattva. He's very famous. I hope the primary supplicants would be 10 times of Padma Kumara. No. It's rare to have this deity because there are 8 mudras of wish fulfilling 8 mudras. And the most important mudra is the scripture mudra. And the mantra is also very good.
Om Maha Prati Sado Swaha.
The mantra too is very good. So pay attention to this deity, because your wish will be fulfilled. You will receive some spiritual response. Of all the deities, this one is very famous. Before Dharma teaching, I would like to tell a joke. An 80-year-old lady get married with a 23 young man. And the second day, the young man died. And after a forensic biopsy, he died of food poisoning. And the biopsy confirmed it was because he drank expired milk. Let me tell another joke. In the morning, I went to buy breakfast, and I heard a few days ago the shop owner fought with the customer. So he asked, "So boss, how did you get into a fight?" And the boss said, it was very busy then, and then the customer came in and said something that said that the fried dough was too hard. So, and then he says, "Oh really, that was really bad, really horrible. So how was the injuries?" And the boss said, the customer had 3 stitches on his head and lost 2 teeth. Wow, that's so horrible. How did you hit him? I was so mad. So I hit him with the fried dough. So you found it funny, right? The fried dough was truly hard. So now we do the question and answer. From Indonesia, Lian Hua Zilong, Grandmaster Amitabha. I am a male practitioner, and I have no sisters nor girlfriends. My mother has passed away. Grandmaster, how should I handle cosmetics that I offer to dakinis?
他没有妹妹，没有女朋友，
No
妈妈
sisters, no
也过世了。
girlfriends, and mom has passed away.
他买了这个化妆品，
And he bought cosmetics. So what should he do with it?
我可以供养愤怒
And the second
空行
question, I can offer
四面空行母。
to the wrathful Dakini like Singamuka,
什么才是供养
wine and
四
meat.
面空行母？
What would be the best offering for
四面
Singamuka?
空行母最好的贡品是什么？第三，
The
他问的
third
问题，
question,
修行护摩的时候，
when I
是否
practice
有
Homa,
诵经、
is there any sutra
八王
chanting
经
like
和观
hiking
想
Guan Yin Sutra
叶轮
and visualization like the mundus, the ocean, the sixth syllable, and the deity?
那第一个问题，
The first question,
他供养过空行母的化妆品，如何处理？因为他没有女朋友，
so the cosmetics that he had offered to
也
Dakinis,
不能送给妈妈。
he has no girlfriends, no sisters, and
他
cannot
是一个男，
given
我当然
to
知道你是一个
mother. Of course, I know you're a man.
莲花自龙，
Your name, 莲花之龙,
天上飞的。
the dragon.
那你们如何处理呢？如果像他，
So what would you do?
啊？送给同门也要你的啊，
Give it to Dharma sisters.
送给你同盟吗？人家以为他对他有意思，
Then maybe people will misunderstand his intention.
你们有谁更好的意见？
If you give it to an old lady, there wouldn't be any problem.
送给四大妈，
Just give it to the four great ladies
送给卡利福尼亚
Of
波斯莫格，
from California.
这个嘛，因为他这个供养空行母，
He
说
offered
不
to
定他常
Dakinis,
常买，所以他有这个烦
and
恼。
maybe he often buys them, so he has this question.
这个是小事情，你
Small,
自己解决就好了。
small piece of cake. You just resolve it yourself.
跟法没有什么关
It's
系嘛，
not
对不
related to
对？
any dharma, right?
法没有什么关系呀，
It's
那
not
你
related to
想怎么
Buddha
样就怎
dharma.
么
Just
样
do
嘛，
whatever you want,
对不对？
right?
你想怎么样就怎么样吧，反正你供过了。
So you have offered them and just
印尼有什么庙吗？
do they have temples in Indonesia?
应该怎么样子比较好？啊？啊？你说什么？
What did you say?
送给那个，还有给死人化妆的啊。
To the people who do make up for the dead people? We have so many ideas, so do whatever you like.
这是第一个问题。
The first question.
第二个
Second question.
愤怒空行母，如十面空行母。
May I offer wine and meat to a wrathful Dakini?
什么才是供养十面空行母最好的贡品？
Singamuka.
它是可以供养酒跟肉的。
Yes, you can offer wine and meat to Singamuka.
是供养给空行永父跟空行母的。
So wine and meat are to be offered to Dakas and Dakinis and all wrathful deities, and including Singamuka. It's fine.
算是最好的贡品。
That would be the best kinds of offering.
它是像狮子一样的威猛。
So Singamuka means lion-faced, which means she's as ferocious as a lion, lioness.
有吃这个肉。
And lions do eat meat.
肉跟酒的。
And alcohol.
在会供的时候啊。
Like during the grand offering.
愤怒的空行母是可以供养酒跟肉的，那也是最好的贡品。
So those are the best kind of offerings for them.
那第二个问题。
And the second question.
第三个问题，修行附魔时是否有任何诵经？ 你如果要诵经，
So
要念高王经。
when practicing Homa, does it include sutra chanting like hiking Guan Yin Sutra? Yes, you can include it.
这个叶轮本尊出现的时候啊，你可以观想叶轮海。
So for the appearance of the Yidam, you can visualize the ocean, the moon rises from the ocean, and the sit syllable, and then the appearance of the Yidam. So it's fine to do this visualization for the appearance of the Yidam. But don't visualize too long, because if you visualize for a long time, then when you open your eyes, the Homa fire has been extinguished, because you have to pay attention so that the Homa fire is never extinguished when you do Homa. That's the three-step visualization. When you are invoking the Yidam, you visualize the ocean, the moon disk arising. At the center of the moon disk, a sit syllable revolves to become the Yidam. The Yidam appears. That's the three-step Dharmakaya visualization. That's fine, but just don't visualize too slowly, otherwise the fire may be extinguished. This is question by Lian Hua Zilong from Indonesia. Lian San from Taiwan.
一个123的3的大写。师尊佛安，弟子阅读我所知道的佛陀一生。
Grandmaster, when I read the book, the Buddha that I know, Grandmaster mentioned that the contemplating venerable or contemplating bodhisattva is one of the 8 great bodhisattvas of Amitabha Buddha. And because in my practice and visualization for long term, I encounter huge obstruction and feel very afflicted. And Grandmaster mentioned that this contemplating venerable is a good supplementing practice. So please teach us how to practice this contemplating to complement and with the deity yoga as what are the key formulas and how to use them so that all the lineage blessing will continue. Then it can empower me as the practitioner, not breaking it because my visualization skill is so poor, so that I can gain spiritual union with the Grandmaster and the Yidam. So although I am very diligent in my practice of the Qi channels and light drops, so that I don't waste it. So Grandmaster, before in the past the visualization was poor, but now as soon as I close my eyes I can visualize all the Dharma implements that they hold, the color of their body, the outfits, the face, the head, the crown. Typically, when we visualize, say, 1,000 eyes, 1,000 arms, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, or the 24 arms of Kala Chakra, or the Dharma implements, sometimes, for convenience, you just visualize the solitary appearance, like Yamantaka, just the solitary form of Yamantaka, which means they only have 2 arms, or solitary Kala Chakra. Typically, we visualize the one with the 2 arms holding Vajra scepter and the other hand holding Vajra bell. Typically speaking, it's impossible at the beginning to visualize all the arms and hands, like all the Vajra gods or protectors. So sometimes we just visualize a solitary form or image. So one body, 2 arms, and the basic Dharma implements, which are the Vajra scepter and Vajra bell. So the one that he talked about, the contemplating bodhisattva, what it means is, primarily he is contemplating. So he is using his power of the mind. Last night, if you watched the webcast, you would know that the power of visualization is tremendous. Although visualization is false, but it can generate true power. It would make the real one appear to give you empowerment or blessings. Every night, the Golden Mother would give me blessing 5 times, and then I transform myself into Yidam, and I do it very fast. In a flash, I transform myself to become Amitabha Buddha, and the blessings of Golden Mother, her appearance, I visualize the one at the Tantric Buddha quarter, the Buddha Tantric quarters in my rooms, the Golden Mother in my own room in Tantric quarter. That's the one that I visualize the most important one that I often visualize. As soon as I close my eyes, her face would appear right in front of me. And then I would pray to her to bless me. And then at the brow point, there would be a bright light, a rays of light shown onto my brow point. And it's very real. Like when I close my eyes like this,
观想他的佛尘，
I visualize
观
her
想他手
divine duster and the wish-fulfilling jewel
观
that
想
she's
他穿的
holding
衣服，
and the
观
robes
想
that
他
she's
脖子
wearing
这边
and on her neck.
那个衣服啊，有点像旗袍似的，稍微
Her
高起来，
outfit is a little bit like the Chinese style outfit with the high collar, and she's wearing
她的
2
发髻
earrings
竖起来，
and her
上面费着
hairdo,
青鸟，
and on top of it
然
there
后
are
有
the
一根这个
divine
那
birds,
华簪插
Qingna,
在这里，也掉
and
了一
then
个
the
坠，
hair
掉了一
pin
个坠，
with the pendant
然后她
that's
的眉毛，她的
on
眼
her
睛，
hair,
她的
her
鼻子，她的
eyebrows,
嘴
her
巴，
eyes, her nose, her
然后就现
lips,
出她的形象。
and then her
眉心
her
放光，
form would appear, and her brow point would
一
radiate
射到，
light, shining,
我自己都有感应。
and I can
节
feel it.
气
I
加
can
持我
sense
5
it.
次以后，我自己就
And
变化成
after she blessed me 5 times
这个阿
continuously,
弥陀佛的
I
本尊就
transformed
变化出
into my own Yidam
啊，自
Amitabha,
己结阿弥那个
and I would form
我南山亚舍的阿弥陀佛那一尊的阿弥陀佛。
the Amitabha Buddha at the South Mountain Retreat, and he looks like this. The wish-fulfilling
然后接这个
mudra,
手印
and then
，OK，
this mudra, okay
，OK
mudra,
手印，就是这样，
okay mudra,
马上就观想出来。
and immediately I visualize.
所有的法船从我的手流出
And
来，
then when I
一只
form this
化
hand,
为10只
the
法
Dharma ship
，10
would
只法船
slide,
化为100只
glide
法船，
down from my
100只法
palm,
船化为
and
1000只
one
法船。
Dharma ship would become 10, 10
然后
becomes
再
100,
摇
hundreds
出金
becomes
以佛
thousands,
成大威神力，
and then Golden
摄
Mother,
召所有的
by
有
her
缘众
majestic power of the divine
上法
duster,
船，
she would
所有的
guide
众
or
就化为
attract
黑色的云，
all the Bardu
啊
spirits
飞到
to
法船上空，然后下降，
get onto the Dharma ships. They become dots
然
like
后摇出金
black
在
clouds,
大威
and
神力
then drop
放
onto the
光
Dharma
加持
ships.
所有有缘众，
And
把
then
他们的
Golden
身心
Mother,
全
by
部
her
清净，
majestic power, would bless all the Bardu spirits with affinity to
然
purify
后
their
法
body
船
and
再
mind.
飞上西空，
And then the Dharma ships would fly into the sky.
然后再教他们
And
如何
then
念阿弥陀
to
佛的
teach
心
them
咒
how to
跟
chant
阿
the
弥
Heart
陀
mantra
佛
of
咒，
Amitabha
再
Buddha.
一起把它送到西方极乐世界。这个修
And then
法
send
也
them
叫
off
做
to
思
Western
维修
paradise together.
啊，思维修这种修法也叫做思维修。啊，我是这样子晚上在
So
做操
this
作。
kind of Dharma practice is also called
那么你
contemplation.
现在呢，这个观想力不足，你这样子，
But for you now,
我有教
your
大家一个方法，
power of visualization is
把你
lacking.
的本尊
Let
的
me
画
teach you
像
one
放在你身上。
method. Just carry the image of your
把
Yidam,
法相拿出来，注意
and
看一下，
before you do the
看一下
visualization,
法
take a
相，眼
look
睛一闭，
and pay attention.
法
And then
相
when
马
you
上就
close
显
your
在
eyes,
虚空之中。
the look of your Yidam will
教你
appear
一
in
个方法
the
就是
sky.
你身上带着你的本尊的
Just
法
carry the image of your Yidam
啊，
with
带
you
着你
all
本
the,
尊的
at
法相带好，
all times.
然后你先看一下，要观
And
想
then
你
take a
先
look
看一下，
before you do the
看一下法
visualization.
相，然后眼睛闭起来，
And then you
马
close
上
your
把它印
eyes.
在虚空之中。
And then it would be imprinted in the sky.
你要用3段法身也可
Or
以，
if you want to use the 3-step Dhammakaya visualization or emergence, that's fine too.
那
That's
你现在思
also
维修
considered a contemplation
观
practice,
想就是思维修了，
contemplating practice. Actually, visualization is contemplating
观想不利，
practice.
观想不清楚，你就
And
把
because you cannot
本尊的
visualize
法相放
clearly,
在你的口
or you
袋。
don't have good visualization,
要
then
修
you
法
just
之前
carry
先
the
拿出来
image
看，
of the
看完了
of
以
the
后，
deity.
你就把它
And
印
before
到
the Dhamma practice, you
就
take
先
a look,
出现叶轮，
and
就
then
把它印到叶轮上面，
You let the mundus appear first, and then you imprint it on the mundus. On the mundus, the sixth syllable of your yidam would appear there, and immediately would become the yidam. There should be enough time. You wouldn't forget it right away, right? So I pay special attention to visualization. You have to always carry the photo or the image of your yidam with you at all times. After doing it once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, and you keep thinking about it for years, days, years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 years, and eventually you would be able to think of the yidam very easily and clearly. And as soon as you think of it, then it would appear. So since you're still putting in effort in your visualization, and because your visualization is very weak and sometimes break, so carry the image of your yidam or your root guru with you at all times, or your guru's photos or image. That's also a method for contemplating practice of visualization. That's all I can tell you, because that's what I do. Although I don't carry the image of Golden Mother on my chest, but every time I go into my room, I would definitely look at her for a few minutes. So it's very easy when I want to visualize later. I often gaze at her, and then that's how I do my practice. I hope that you can also improve in this area. Don't be so weak in your visualization and contemplation. It should become stronger. Actually, visualization and contemplating practice are the same. That's my answer to Lian San. The third question from Canada. It's English here. CHE.
气 NG 是什么？
What is NG?
无，他把名字放在后面。姓吴。
Family Wu, last name, family name Wu.
HOI 怎么发音 ？For 它怎么有4个字
Why is it for name?
JUDY HOI
JUDY
Canada
CHENG from Canada. This is Cantonese name.
好啦，他的问题哈。
And her question, how do I know that what I do in my life is what I should do? How would I know if I do really well? Thank you. That's her question. How would I know that what I do in my life is what I should do? And how do I know if I do really well? I'm not
所以我
you.
真的不知道你生活所做
So
的，
I don't know what you do
我
in
也
your
不是
life.
你，所以
I am
我
not
不知道
you.
你现在生活所应做的，
So I also don't know
我
what
怎么
you're
知
supposed to
道
do.
我
How
不
would
是
I
你？
know?
所以你
I'm not
表
you.
现得很出色，
So
还是
your
没有表现得很出色，
great
我都不知
performance,
道。
I don't know. I don't know if you do well or not.
他说非常感谢你，我刚刚已经回答了。
So thank you. I already answered.
这个是这样子的，如果是一个修行人的话，
So for a spiritual
你的
cultivator,
戒律持守得很好，
if you
就是你
abide
生
by the
活所应做
precepts really strictly, that's what you should do in your life.
你如果受了菩萨戒，你守菩萨戒，
So if you have made the
你
vows
守了
of
菩萨戒，
Bodhisattva,
就是你生活所应做的。
so the Bodhisattva precepts would be what you
那你
should do
做的
in life.
不犯戒律，
And you
就
don't
是你现在
breach
生
the
活所应该
precepts,
做的。
then that's what you should do in your life.
而且你守了戒律，没有犯戒，就表现
And
得很
if you abide by the precepts and don't violate them, then of course that means you have good
是一个
performance.
行者，也是一个
That's because you're a spiritual cultivator.
那么修行的人就是第一个要守戒律，
For a sadhaka, first you have to abide by the precepts. If you don't violate the
就是你
precepts,
应该做的。
then that's what you should do.
那么你现在所做的，就是要守戒律。
So what you should do now is to
你
abide
守
by
了
the
戒律，
precepts.
你的表现真的很出色。
So if you have abide by the precepts, then your performance would truly be
这是我的回
wonderful.
答，
That's my
这是我的
answer.
回答。小明给班上的小美取了一个小象的绰号。
小明gave a nickname to Xiaomei
上课的时
and
候
called her
叫
Little
小美站起
Elephant.
来教训
So Xiaomei complained to the
你真的
teacher,
很没礼貌。
and the teacher
小美
asked
胖
Xiaoming
了一点点，
to stand up
不能把人
and
家讲得
scolded
这样
him
说
and
出
said,
来。
you know, you're really bad. Although Xiaomei is fat, but you shouldn't say it right in her face.
都讲出来了。
So the teacher too did say it.
一个小女孩走到身穿警服的叔叔面前，她上下的
So a little girl went to
警察叔叔一番，
in front of the policeman
你是警
and
察
looked
吗？
up and down and then
警察
said,
是的。
"Are you
小
a
女孩就
policeman?"
讲，
And
妈妈说，
and he said
不
yes.
管遇到什么困难，求助警察
And then the little
都
girl
会得到
said
帮助，是不是？
that it doesn't matter what difficulty I
小女
encounter,
孩就讲，
ask help from the policeman, then I can be helped, right?
帮
Yes.
我系好鞋带。
And then the girl said, "Okay, that's good. Then could you please tie my shoelaces?"
如果我是警察，我会帮他系好鞋带。
If I were the policeman, I would help her tie her
将
shoelaces.
军为了己力士气，来到了前线。将军问
The
情况怎
general
么样，
went to the
士
front
兵
line
回报告将军， 前方
and
20
asked,
公尺
"What's the how's the situation?"
有一个狙击手，
And then
不过他的枪网很烂
the soldier report, "Oh, there was what's that called? A sniper,
都没有打到
like at the 10 o'clock." But his skill was really bad for these past few days.
把他干掉呢？
That
士兵回报，报告
that
将军
he never hit the
难
target.
道你要让他
And
们换一
then
个比较准的吗？
the general said, "Well, if he's so bad, why didn't he get eradicated. But the shoulder asked, but do you want them to replace him with someone more accurate?
小明讲
On the public transport, Xiaoming said,
妈咪，我想上厕所。
Mommy, I want to go to the
妈妈
bathroom.
讲说
And mom
憋一
said,
下。
just hold it on. It's almost home.
小明讲我快
And
憋不
Xiaoming
住
said,
了。
but I cannot hold it anymore. And mom said,
吴山小路用的小鬼，跟你爸是一样的。
you're so useless. You're like your dad.
这个没有人笑。
Nobody laughed.
如果有人给你2000块钱，
If someone
只因为你长
give
得
you
丑，
$2,000
你会拿吗？
and
因为
said,
你长得丑，
because you are ugly,
那么
would
这
you
个人
take
就
the
要给你
money?
2000块钱，你会拿吗？
Would you take it?
这个人讲说当然，
And he
我
said,
只
of
是丑，
course.
但是
I'm just
不是
ugly,
笨蛋。
but I'm not stupid.
这里先讲一个哈，谈到修道五谛，
Now we talk about the 5 grounds of practicing the
有
path,
果，有现
with
象，
the cause,
有
the
归结，
fruits, the verification, and
这是标
conclusion.
题。
These are all
原因
titles.
是什么呢？近因
What
是
is
什么呢？
the far cause,
现
the
象
near
啊，
cause,
真
the
如现象啊，内
verification,
现象啊，外现象。
suchness, inner, outer verifications. We've talked about all
菩萨
those.
第一谛，
For the first ground of bodhisattvahood, let me tell you one thing, very special.
我自己是这样子认为。
My personal opinion is, on the first or initial
得到
ground,
寄生喜的时候啊，
when
无
you
漏是很重要的。
experience the
无
innate
漏真的是
bliss,
很重要。
the non-leaking is extremely
因为
crucial.
当你的明点一直到
When your light
底
drops
下的
get to the bottom,
这个中脉的最底端的时候啊，
the
你
very
会
bottom
体
of
验
the
到
central
寄
channel,
生喜
you would experience the
什么是
innate
寄生喜？
bliss. What is an
永
innate
远
bliss?
不变的大乐，
Is the
永远不会变的大乐，就是寄生喜。
the
得到寄生喜，
everlasting, never changing
就
great
到了初
bliss.
地菩萨第一。
So, because you attain this innate bliss, you would reach the first ground of bodhisattvahood, the
这是师父没有跟我讲，
joyous
但是我发觉
ground.
到
The guru, my
我们
guru
身上
didn't tell me,
有
but
眉
I
心轮，有
discovered
顶轮，顶轮
in
但是
my body. Let's not talk about the
眉心轮
crown chakra first, but there's the
喉轮
brow chakra,
心
the
轮
throat chakra, the heart chakra, navel
地轮
chakra, and secret
五个
chakra.
轮，
5 chakras.
一个轮呢，你把它
And
开
for
化，
one chakra, when you open it, when
你
you
打
open
开了一个轮，
one chakra,
就有两地。
then you would reach 2
所以
grounds.
十地菩萨是因为
So the 10th ground of bodhisattvahood
就得
is
到两地
because by opening one chakra, you would
第一
gain
地
2
到
grounds.
十地啊，从欢喜地到黄
So from the joyous ground to the
是
flower ornament ground, and the 7th
每一个地的
ground
名号
is the
跟这个我们身上
distant
这么
travel
个
ground.
的开发，
So the name of each of the grounds are related to the opening of the 5 chakras of the
我自
body.
己发现啊，
One chakra is the same as 2 grounds. That's my discovery. Just
你
remember
必须要耍
You
所有
need
的气
to
进入那个轮，
ensure that all the qi enter into that chakra.
然后把白菩提跟红
And
菩提
then to make the white body and red body, which is the inner
白
fire,
菩提就是
tumo,
明点，
and the white body is the light drops or bindu.
要把红菩提跟白菩提
So you need to make the white body and red body at that chakra, and to make sure you transport the qi into it.
白菩提、红
And the
菩提
qi is the one that transport the red and white body, which is the fire and water.
白菩提就是水，
White border, white body is water, red body is fire. These are the 5th instructions, remember. The white body is water, the red body is fire or inner fire, tumor. You use the fire, water, and wind, which is the qi, to open the 5 chakras. By opening one chakra, you reach 2 grounds. 1 chakra, 2 grounds. So 5 chakras, 10 grounds of bodhisattvahood. That's my discovery. So the second general meaning is positioned as the 5 grounds of practicing the path as engrossed by the vase empowerment. The verse in quote, also based on the transformation body, the 4 empowerments, the 2 grounds of practicing the path, end quote. As mentioned above, this is the instruction on the cause, etc., the 4 sections. The first one being the cause, which is divided into far and near causes, and the far causes are divided into empowerment and path, and the near causes are divided into outer and inner start of affinity. The meaning of the fruit is transformation body, and the verification is divided into suchness verification. Now we'll start with suchness verification. Said the verse can move thousands of transformation bodies and pure lands, etc. End quote. The former initial ground as 700 merits, the second ground 7,000, third ground 70,000, fourth ground 700,000, fifth ground 7 million, sixth ground 70 millions, increasing exponentially. Just the numbers, talking about the merits. At the first ground, 700 merits, second ground, 7,000, third ground, 70,000, fourth ground, 700,000, Bodhisattvahood, fifth ground, 7 million, sixth ground of Bodhisattvahood, 70 millions of merits. Let me tell you, according to what I know, as soon as you reach the first ground, you can transform 20,000 materials of your body. So 20,000 of the materials in your body can be transformed or eradicated. 20,000, just a number. Many numbers here. Like when you reach the first ground, you can eradicate 20,000 materials because your body can transform into light in the future. What I meant was, like the Venerable Elder Xu Yun, in his biography, it was recorded. An old monk who planted vegetables, at his moment of death, he sat under the tree. When the Venerable Elder Xu Yun heard the news that the sage who planted vegetables had passed away and he was seated under a big tree. So the Venerable Elder Xu Yun went to see him, and the disciple was about to touch him because he sat passing away under a big tree. And the Venerable Elder Xu Yun said, "No, don't touch him." And he joined his palm and paid homage to him. And with that homage, his whole body became like sand. Then he became a pile of sand, grains of sands, just like sariras. So he transformed. How could it happen?
这个就是用自己的着火。
This is using his own inner fire to burn away all his physical bodies or materials of the physical body. It's not using the external fire of the cremation, but using the inner fire of inner fire, the internal fire, the inner fire tumor, to burn away your own physical body. Like Sri Singha, Manjusrimitra, Guru Padmasambhava, and Ishichoka, they all transform into rainbow light. What is that? The bodies transformed, melted, disappeared to become a rainbow light and fly. That flies to the sky. So, in order to have such power, is when all chakras, the 5 chakras, open and transform to become 5 rainbow lights, and you burn away all the materials and physical's body, and burn and melt them. So the verse can move thousands of transformation bodies and pure lands, etc. That means you burn your own body to transform to become pure lands. At the initial ground, there are 700 merits, second ground 7,000, third ground 70,000, fourth ground 700,000, fifth ground 7 millions, and sixth ground 70 millions, increasing exponentially. So continually increasing your merits. When the inner fire arises and the light drops descends to open the 5 chakras and the channels around inside them, that's increasing merits. The numbers of the merits, we can say that they are channels. You burn away your material physics. That's my explanation. Now you understand. You use your inner fire because the ingredient is the light drops for the inner fire. So you use your fire to burn away all the channels and chakras, and then to burn them away. A human's body is the source of suffering. That's why Lao Tzu said, so my faults or my trespasses is my body. So the body is the source of suffering. So if you can melt and eliminate, eradicate your body until all becomes light, only that is the attainment in Tantrayana. We talk about it that way. So it talks about merits. Actually, it's burning away or purging your channels. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.